What's up guys, Lifting here. In this video I'm going to present 5 different build guides, all suited for beginners to the game or people starting out in a new league. The reason these builds are suited for these specific purposes is because they are cheap, easy to level and somewhat mechanically simple. Furthermore, all of these builds have the potential to take on and deal with the hardest content the game has to offer, if executed properly, of course. The guides for each build can be found in the description of the video. So number 1 on the list is ProjectPT's Contagion and Essence Drain build. This is basically a dot or damage over time build if you prefer. The way it works is that Essence Drain delivers massive amounts of damage via a dot effect applied to the enemy when hit. Contagion then ensures that this dot spreads to nearby enemies, allowing for great clear speed and a very consistent damage output. The build overall is very tanky and utilizes several auras and curses to achieve both defenses and extra damage. PT proved the power of this build by leveling it to 97 and defeating Uber-Siri as a solo self-found character, meaning he did no trading, everything he acquired was found by himself. This build can be played using very cheap items, however if you want there are several expensive unique items that can take the build even further. I have played Contagion Essence Drain on multiple occasions myself and it is one of my favorite skills in the game. I highly recommend trying it out. Build number 2 is my own newly released Warchief Totem weapon based build guide. This build will provide you with solid defenses, lots of damage, and I have personally played and tested this in tier 15 maps and against several of those bosses such as the Rezo, and the build does pretty well against any of this. Warchief Totems is one of the strongest totem skills in the game since it can effectively scale off your weapon. That means that the better weapon you have, the more damage the totems are going to deal. Fortunately, you can simply use a cheap Comb Supremacy axe and you'll be good for the most part of the game. If you can afford it, I recommend the Hesmana's Bloodlust axe instead, however, as it is slightly better but also more expensive. Another alternative is to use Face Breakers, however my specific build does not cover that. The build is furthermore very easy to level and in general very tanky and safe. Number 3 on the list is Hegemony's Leap Sweeper. Hegi has always liked his sweep attack and now that it has received a buff in 2.4 he has made a build guide for it. The Leap Sweeper is a tanky and highly mobile build that has great area of effect and is an excellent boss killer. Furthermore, it makes good use of knockback to indirectly make your character safe. This particular build specializes in mazes and uses resolute technique, meaning it can't crit but it always hits. This is the build Hegemony will be starting Atlas League with himself. Number 4 on the list is PewPewPew's Elementalist Firestorm build. He describes it himself as a low-cost, starter-friendly, high clear speed, strong, adjustable, FPS destroying but fun build. PewPew's build is optimized for those that don't want to look for good gear or prefer to play self-found but do want the possibility to upgrade to better gear later on in the game. The Firestorm skill has been very powerful during the past few leagues and this time around is no exception. The thing that makes PewPew's build somewhat alternative to other Firestorm builds is that his is utilizing minions, not because of the damage they provide, but rather as meat shields soaking up damage from both ranged and melee attacking monsters. PewPew does warn though that this build can and will destroy the FPS on lower systems, but who knows, maybe the performance improvements for Atlas changes this. If you want a solid build that is incredibly easy to level, this is the one for you. The final and 5th build on the list is the good old Earthquake Juggernaut / Champion depending on your preferred choice. While Earthquake have been slightly nerfed in 2.4, it is without a doubt still among the strongest melee skills out there. It may even still be the strongest. The benefits of running this build is that it provides tons of damage, it is very tanky and it is very easy to level. Furthermore, Earthquake is amazing for doing Uber lab runs and can clear the highest tier of maps as long as the gear is appropriate for the level of course. And the skill itself is just so much fun to use. Furthermore, Earthquake doesn't require any particular expensive uniques. As long as you get yourself a good weapon and cover your life and resistances, you should be good. That said, there is of course lots of awesome uniques you can utilize to further power the build should you want to. And that is the list, guys. 5 awesome and powerful builds for you to choose from to start out in the new league. Make sure to check the link to each guide in the description of the video. Subscribe for more Path of Exile content. Thank you for watching, and bros, do you even nerd?